Yeah, I saw it already. Yeah, yeah, we good. I, I just I just made it home. Hold on, bro. Hold on. You can't hear me? I said I just made it home. You good? Yeah, everybody good. Everybody good. Yeah, I just made it to the house. What's good though? Probably so. I probably will. Yep. I already sent the email to him, so he should get it. He should get it in a minute. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, he should get it. Right. Right. Yeah, like I literally just walked in the door, like about a couple minutes ago, bro. Yep. Yep. It could. You probably could, but you know how that go. No, I just like I said, I literally just came to the house about a few minutes ago. But you good? Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can send it. You can send it to my email, and I'll check it for you. I said if you send it to my email, I'll be able to check it for you. You hear what I said? Yeah, I'll check it. It ain't no problem. Right. Right. But I kind of figured that though. I kind of figured that out already. Yeah. Yeah, everybody good. Probably not on that level, but shit. Like if you check on it later on, we'll make sure it happens. I'll make sure it go to the proper correspondence. No, I just haven't had time. I ain't had time today, man. Like I literally just made it in. Yep. Like I literally just got to the house. Yep. Okay. Probably though, but like I said, it just depends. It just depends on what I got going on for that day. And like I said, yeah, No, I don't charge too much for that. No. Yeah. Hold on. Okay, you say what now, bro? Yeah, yeah. Like I literally just came home from a book signing on college at GCU. Yeah, yeah. But I'm still in Arizona. I'll be coming back to Flint in a minute. Like I just made it home, bro. Like literally, just made it home. Yep. Yeah, he got the information. Yeah, I said he got all the information. He got all the information that y'all gonna need from me. Like I hold on, hold on. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. So everything gonna work out, bro. Like everything gonna work. Just stay positive, man. I've been looking at your case too. Yeah, they gonna let you out. They don't have they don't have no choice. Oh yeah, your mom called me. I'm in Peoria, but I'm getting ready to go live right now. Like I'm back in AZ, but I'll be back in Flint in probably like the end of next month. I'll be doing my traveling. I got like 12 cities to hit, but I'm gonna be back in my home city for a minute. So can I call you back, brother? Yeah. Yep. You can call me too. It's all good. Yep. You can call me. Tell your mom she can call me too, bro. Like I don't have no problem talking to y'all, man. But I'm getting ready to go live, so I know your mom be tapping in. Yep. And man, gratitude, man. Tell your mom I said gratitude, and I love y'all. Okay. Okay. Peace and love. Sorry about that, family, man. I've been ripping and running. I just got back home. I shipped a couple books off, and man, it's a lot going on in this world today. And I'm just glad to be sought after from like-minded people. You know, I'll be checking on my little cousin. She's on here, Isis, and we had a conversation about spirituality and just how a lot of our people are lost because they act like Crips and Blood with this religious thing. They don't really understand about politics. They really don't. And it's so funny because a lot of stuff that I said and my family, especially those that are close to me, were like, well, Sheik, you've been saying this for years. And I'm like, how do you know this stuff? My cousin, she was like, how do you know this stuff? I keep telling y'all, man, I'm part of a selected group. I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. I'm always going to be transparent. You, when people listen, man, how can I say this and say it with love? Selective societies and selective mind states, you're only going to be chosen from a certain area. And so a lot of the things that I've been introduced to came from the college campus, came from European professors and potentates that saw me and saw the wisdom. And so when I speak of things, I'm not coming as a know-it-all or from no place of saying this person is better than that person. I'm coming from a place of what I know, and I only know what I know, and the truth shall make you free. When I talk about these politics, and I told people years ago, and everybody connected to me, I have a listen. My professor gave me something from 1990, and it was the Illuminati card game. And everything on the Illuminati card game that I share with my muftis that's in 1990 is happening today. Everything that you think is just osmosisly happened, it already been in play. And I've been teaching this to college campus, and it falls on deaf ears to my brothers and sisters. I say brothers and sisters are so caught up in the presidency where they're not even focused on the local and state, the things in their community. I say, y'all are crazy. Don't you know all this stuff is how can I say it? A popularity contest. Most misnomer black people, because black have no rights, they only vote for people that they like. They vote for parties. Like I heard a misnomer black person saying, well, I'll vote Democrat. I don't care if Chris Brown is running Democrat. And I said, really? I said, really? So you don't care about law and policy. You care about a party. You care about a color, and they don't have nothing to do with color because presidents are not elected. They're already selected. And my brothers and sisters don't even know what I'll be saying because they're so emotional. And our parents, a lot of times, are emotional because they look at things as what a person's saying. But I say, who do you work for? Your employer probably feel the same way as Trump do. But what do you know about law and policy? Most Negroes couldn't tell you about law and policy. I know this for a fact. I say, what law and policy have Biden done? What law and policy have Trump done? They couldn't even tell you. I asked them, what do they know about the Electoral College? They couldn't even tell you. I asked people, do you vote on law and policy? Nope, you vote on the party. You lost. I told people this, and the people that follow me, I said, don't get caught up in this game and this person that's the face. Because before Donald Trump was the president, all Negroes loved Donald Trump. All the rappers had him on the videos. I want to be like Donald Trump. I want to be this. I want to be that. Do you think Donald Trump, his ways and how he felt about misnomer black people changed since he became the president? No, he felt the same way. Y'all have to understand what I'm saying and remove your feelings. Negroes be so emotional. Niggas be so emotional that they'll vote on somebody just because they like. They'll deal with a preacher. Oh, well, I like what he's saying. But what is he teaching? What is he showing y'all? Nothing. And that's the problem with misnomer black people. I told people, no disrespect, because I love all people. Gay people and the ABC, they got more rights than misnomer black people. Why? Because there's money behind a movement. Negroes don't have nothing behind a movement. They vote on the party. Your family vote Democrat. Tell me why to vote Democrat. I ain't saying vote Republican, but I'm saying law and policy. I don't know, not one Negro can get on here and tell me anything about law and policy because that's what I do. When I told Negroes look up Project 2025 a long time ago, I told Negroes in 2020, I said, y'all better understand that Project 2025 is getting ready to come. Nobody like what you talk about. I said, dude, listen, I have something that a lot of people don't have. I'm introduced to the wisdom. Y'all, everybody be putting stuff on the internet about the Simpsons. The Simpsons predicted this. The Simpsons didn't predict nothing. The authors and the writers of the Simpsons is just part of the Philosophical Research Society that I'm part of. They know presidents are not elected; they're selected. Man, when I start talking about stuff about Peter Moon and all this stuff, they don't understand. They don't understand. And I say, man, listen, it ain't even about that. It ain't even about that. It ain't even about that. And when people jump on the internet and just say things, that's okay. But I'm an educator. This is the thing. I say, brothers and sisters, we have to know what's going on in the world. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's not a male thing. It's not a female thing. It's none of that. You want the right person in position to do the right thing. It's just like what's happening in Doyleton and all these, and in my home city, a city of Flint. When we say, well, we put somebody in place that we know, but your own person will do you wrong. Just like if a person get power, and absolute power corrupts. Just because a person is melanated does not mean that they're going to do the right thing, brothers and sisters. We have to know what's going on in the world. Damn, I got to get this phone. Hold on. Wait a minute. I can answer it on my laptop. Sorry about that. 1 second. My professional call. What is that? Apologies, y'all. I just have to answer this real fast. I'm going to text it so I won't be speaking. So we spoke about this on GCU campus at the Scholars Roundtable, and we spoke on politics, and we spoke on electoral college, and we spoke on people being, how can I say, selected and not elected. And we spoke on people just, like I said, I like to use the words of Jay-Z. Like, if you don't like what a person is saying, or if you're not into what a person was saying, why would you be there? Why would you even join on a person page? Because I don't care what nobody say about me. Makes me no difference. I know how I operate and I know my abilities. I don't care when a person jumps on YouTube and just get the babbling off at the mouth, saying things that they have no idea of nothing, because most of us, we get into our personal feelings and we say things that's meaningless. So I'm okay with all the darts. I'm okay with all the darts. But once again, I know who I am. I know politics. I know civics. I'm educated in a lot of these things. A lot of my professors are potentates. A lot of my professors are they used to work for the government. When I talk about, it's a book called Spandu Mysteries. Let me see, can I pull something up? By Peter Moon. And I got my dual master's degree from Grand Canyon University. And Peter Moon, he came to the college campus and spoke a plethora of times on a college campus about civics. My boy Brett, his wife is a realtor. She can, what do you say? My boy Brett, wife is a realtor. She can view the houses for us. We can trust her. Okay. But when I speak about these things and our people get so upset and they just start saying things, that shows me something. But it's a book called Spandu Mysteries by a European named Peter Moon. And I'll share these books. And Peter Moon is just his pen name. And y'all see all those government officials on there. But do y'all see who's right on the corner? That's Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That's Noble Drew Ali. No matter if nobody like him or not, no matter if nobody like me, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with whatever a person say about me. I got tough skin. A Negro killed my brother. I don't mind what people say on this internet. But when I talk about things like Peter Moon, the books he wrote a plethora of books that a lot of us are not into, because we're not into the know. We are into how we feel, and we emotional, and we are just blab at the mouth on the internet. It shows a lack of understanding. It shows how crazy that individual is. Because if I'm not with what somebody's saying, I'm not going to waste my time and get to typing a whole bunch of stuff on the internet like that means something to me. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my time. And my European colleagues don't waste their time. They let Negroes be Negroes. They let Negroes be Negroes, and they let Negroes infight. They let Negroes argue with each other. You will never see European Jews. You will never see those on the internet arguing with each other or disrespecting each other, especially the scholars, especially the ones that they can look up and see that they're educated. It's only us. And then we only let And then far as us, we let people disrespect our educators and scholars. Us. But when I talk about Spondu mysteries from Peter Moon, I'll give you all a little preface. I'm not even going to give you a preface. I tell you to research it. And I have all the documents. When I talk about the characters of World War II, Rudolf Hess and George S. Patton became immersed in an age-old battle involving the legions of light and darkness. And the end of World War II preceded, and it was unprecedented, and it's brought up stuff to intrigue and struggle of power than the war itself. And much of it centered around the secret project sponsored by Rudolf Hess, which included not only the Antarctic, the project, but the construction of the virile flying saucer. When I talk about, it's a book, I'm gonna pull it out, that a lot of the European high masons, it's called Atlantis of Latter Days. I'm gonna pull it out in a minute, so don't let me forget. But Patton's job as the war became close was to recover the secret technology of Germans and safeguard it for America's use. So when I speak about a lot of things, a lot of our people is just not into the know. They're not historical. They're not historical. They're emotional, but not historical. German history of war. General Patton was killed in a Dubai's accident, the mystery of which has never been solved and has been magnified by government refusal to declassify the file, but I have them all. A lot of this stuff is wrapped up in Freemasonry. And a lot of our brothers and sisters don't know because we so emotional. It's just like the women's rights. In our society, we didn't have a problem with our misnomer Black women having rights, but we picked up a banner of someone else and it destroyed the family, like welfare. So I don't have a problem with people jumping on the internet saying things about me. Like I was telling my cousin Isis, I said, I've been called so many things from people on YouTube that don't know me. Some lady or somebody jumped on YouTube, said, you on cocaine. I said, wow, really? Okay. But who cares? Those are just words. People know me. People know my heart. People know what I do. So you can't be upset with people just saying things and throwing darts. You have to have tough skin when you're on social media, because people will say anything to try to ruffle your feathers and get you off your movement. And that's okay. So this book right here, Atlantis to the Latter Days, this is a historical book, which a lot of lower level Freemasons have, which a lot of my European Scottish Rite Masons have. And this is by H.C. Randolph Stevens. He called himself El Eros. And you see what's on the cover of this. I'm just setting the precedent. I'm going to give you a little bit of the Osirian scriptures. The Osirian scriptures are incorporated in and given through the order of the Knights Templars of Aquarius, which now has members throughout the world. It was founded by El Eros, El Ara in London in 1954. But when I started showing y'all documents and manuscripts, our prophet Noble Drew Ali and the ancient rite of mystics of the Noble Shrine was way before this. We just don't know. We just don't know. We just don't know. In 1954, on its directions of the Master Masons, who are builders of the true spiritual knowledge upon the earth plane, these receive their instructions direct from the creative God force, which permits all that is in the great expanding universe. The Book of Truth, or the Voice of Osiris. If you start listening to me as I get to my main topic, that stolen legacy, that Greek philosophy is Egyptian philosophy. I'm setting the precedent. You should see this. You should hear what I'm saying and start connecting things. A lot of our brothers and sisters just not connected. I was just blessed to be able to be connected in academia. I had to turn a lot of things down to be able to build my own school on truth and knowledge. That's why nobody can accuse me or say anything that'll hurt my feelings, because
I'm way past 32 degrees. I'm 99 degrees of ancient rite of Memphis and Mizraim. I tell everybody I'm transparent. All my muftis and my members, I've been teaching them this for over 5 years. But the first book of Osirian scriptures to be published, and it's not. They just say that. It includes the status of the Father King and their accompanying symbols in the form of full-size reproductions of the original drawings, the teachings of Osiris, first published shortly after the Book of Truth. The new augmented edition contains commentaries explanatory to the original teachings as received from the master Adonmi. It also incorporates the laws of Atlantis and the commandments of Osiris, aka Moses, from the Chronicles of Osiris. Now out of print, but I have all those. When they say something is out of print, I have them all. I share them with my brothers and sisters as I continue to give them a little and a little and a little. The Wisdom of the Soul. This book was published in 1954. The book provides the reader and the student with an esoteric and an exoteric viewpoint of the laws of nature. Included in the edition is an examination or explanation of the paintings by El Iru, which is reproduced in full color and forms the front piece of this book. The final chapter incorporates world portents given through the master Wunfer. So when I speak of things, I don't come from a place of, how can I say, of hate, of fear, or anything. I try to illuminate my brothers and sisters to show y'all, to show you what's been promulgated way before what you thought. It's a deeper history than what we think. And if you're not introduced to the science, you're going to be emotional. You're going to be emotional on everything. Everything's going to be based off how you feel. Everything is going to be based off a color thing, the black thing and a white thing. And it has nothing to do with black and white. Because there's no such thing when we deal in the context of black and white as a people. It's just not. And so when my brothers and sisters start accusing and start saying things on Instagram and Facebook because how they feel emotionally, I understand. But if you don't understand what I'm saying, there's no reason for you to be here. There's no reason for you to show both hands, to show how ignorant that you are. So today, I just want to give a preface of this book that I have. And if on my temple and school, I have a full library with over 1 million books and documents. I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. I'm connected to the Library of Congress. I'm connected to the Royal Archives. We're all scholars and all people of wisdom. That's where they study at. So when I speak, I'm just speaking from a historical place. I don't care if brothers and sisters don't like what I'm saying, but you're going to go to work and work. You're going to go to work and work. And we get on here and be disrespectful. And that's a problem with our brothers and sisters. So I just want to talk about a little bit of the table of contents of Stolen Legacy. I have friends that's in Greek fraternities and they call themselves Greek gods. And I say, how can you call yourself melanated and call yourself a Greek god? I love you. But how can you call yourself melanated and call yourself a Greek god? And then let people haze you. And then let people brand you. And then you call yourself a Greek god. And then I tell all my brothers and sisters that's in fraternities, I say, would you read Stolen Legacy? And when they read Stolen Legacy, it burned their fingertips. So I'm just going to give the preface and tell you what it's about. And I'm going to deal with the first chapter, but I'm going to tell you what each chapter consists of. And if you want this literature, I have it. You can download it on your tablet or one of my muftis that's on my YouTube page or print and bind it for you at our sister company, bindedbooks.com. Or you can get the book PDF and download on your tablet from our other company, mypdfbooks.com. That's books with the Z. So part 1, chapter 1, Greek philosophy is stolen Egyptian philosophy. So when you deal with masonry and all these things, and brothers that say they want to be Prince Hall and all these mystic words, when I deal with my Scottish Rite European Masons, they will tell you that they are son of a Muslim. They would never tell you that they some widow son. If you go on my YouTube page, you will see that the European Freemason that I know, which is a Scottish Rite, gave credit to Noble Drew Ali on his 135th birthday and laughed at all these black Muslims and black Christians and black Masons and even the Moors that act like they don't know this science is a synchronicity and this science is ancient. When I deal with Adam Blavatsky, when I deal with Pascal Beverly Randolph, and when I deal with how ancient this science is and the Sufis, they'll tell you who brought real Islam to North America. Even when you can pull up Founders Day of Farrakhan, giving credit to our prophet Noble Drew Ali. I got so many books of European writers. Let me see, can I find this another book? Let me see, I think I saved it before I get into this, because I want to show y'all more pictorial of things before I get into this dissertation. Let me see, can I find it? Yeah, right here. This right here. You see what the European have on his head? Islam. And in this book, if you go on my YouTube page and I showed you how the European was giving credit to Noble Drew Ali on his 135th birthday, he was quoting this book right here. And I have them all. And when my European professors, when I was on the college campus and I started pulling out documents and pulling out history, they all wanted to talk to me on the side. They was like, the books that you gather, compile, and divinely prepare is power. They wanted to buy my copyrights to my book. Why? Because it's resurrecting who we are as a people. We just don't know that because a lot of our brothers and sisters are not academic and they're not initiated. I didn't say took an oath. I said initiated. How? Through wisdom. You have to be initiated through wisdom and you have to be an educator. No so-called secret society won't know Negro in the streets. No rapper is part of no secret society. I'm telling you what I know because they look at you like a Negro when you don't know who you are. They let us think that we're Negro, black, and colored. They don't care about that. That's propaganda. I tell my brothers and sisters, political right and ethnicity, you have to have money behind it. And misnomer black people, that's slaves, it's nothing behind being black. And so when I talk about documents, when I talk about masonry, I'm speaking of something that I know. I'm speaking of something that I've been introduced to as an educator. I'm not coming from no hate or telling nobody what to do. That's not my mission. My mission is to illuminate to my brothers and sisters, to show you a world that you might not know. To show you that Greek philosophy is solely Egyptian philosophy. To show you that everything on a European Freemason that's only 32 degrees, 33 degrees, that's in meteorology when water freezes, that's no wisdom. When I break down the esoteric and the esoteric meaning of all texts, 32, 33 is when Jesus died, per se. When I talk about the sun goes down and the sun sets, that has nothing to do with nothing evil because Lucifer is the morning star. That's your higher self and your lower self. I've been trying to resurrect my people, but they let us get caught up in man-made religion and that black stuff. And there's no political party behind black. They want all misnomer black people to be Democrats. No disrespect to brothers and sisters. I told people before this whole race happened that was going to happen with the political party. I said, this is the game. I said, they already know what's wrong with Biden. And then black people say, well, he don't make the rules anyway. He got these people to do this. I says, okay, so you don't care about the person that's the face of things, to have competence, to know what's happening. They was in it. He was getting ready. He was doing a speaking and he introduced one of the damn governors as Putin. And I'm like, come on now. I don't have a dog in the fight, but I operate on law and policy. I know law and policy. I know us as a melanated people must know who we are. And once we know who we are, we must put our money behind something real. And we must deal with local and state. That's number uno. If we're not dealing with local and state, then we lost due to a lack of knowledge. Why? Because we refuse to learn. And most of our people are emotional. My college professor is on my page. He said, I just saw how that person jumped on your Instagram page. I mean, on my YouTube page, and they said some of the stupidest stuff in the world. I told y'all, most of my members, y'all jump on YouTube and see what people say. Some person said on here, and my professor deleted it. He was like, oh, your brain like you on cocaine. And we laughed. And my professor said, he was like, really? He was like, really, Sheik? This is what my professor calls me. He was like, really, Sheik? This is what people say about you on YouTube? I said, yes. And then he said, but they can't hide because once they jump on your Instagram or your YouTube, your ISBN is popping off. It's like I can look up a book with the ISBN number. So you popping off a frequency. And then when I have my IT brother look them up, I have all these people names and addresses and where they stay. And I don't get on here and call them out. And give their whole government name and give their phone numbers because it don't mean nothing to me. It doesn't mean nothing to me. So when I talk about high science, and when I talk about things that we're not introduced to, and we get all emotional over a political party, and we don't understand that we must vote on law and policy, and I ask every misnomer black person that's a Democrat, what's the law and policy? What are you voting for? And then I jump on YouTube and I see people say, well, I'll vote for Chris Brown if he's Democratic. And I say, really? I'm just setting the precedent of how blind our people are, that we'll jump behind a person because we like them. Not because they come in with laws and policy, not because they're being, how can I say, honorable of the things that they said that they would do. Because Joe Biden said, you not black if you don't vote for me. This is what this man said. I ain't for Trump neither. But what I'm telling you, before Trump was a president, all the rappers and all the Negroes had Donald Trump on their videos. All of them. And then when I show y'all that all these presidents, all of them are part of our high society. They all Masons, and it's a game. If y'all don't understand what I'm saying, that's your fault. All presidents are selected. When we talk about electoral college, how you think they know polls and they know things, and this is stuff is already predicted. And we arguing over the president, but we not voting locally and state in our own communities. We're not telling our children and our young educators to be politicians, to be the governors, to be the mayors, to be city councilmen. Why are we not putting our people in position? We put all our hopes, no disrespect, I'm going to say it just like I'm going to say it, no disrespect to nobody, on old Europeans. On old Europeans, that's what we do. And then when we talk about political parties, we talk about, what's her name, Harris? Like, come on. Do y'all know the 3-strike rule? I don't have a dog in a fight, but I know law and policy. And I vote on law and policy. I'm not getting behind no political party. I'm not behind no Democrat. I'm not behind no Republican. And I'm not behind no independent CEO. I operate on law and policy. What you gonna do for me? Just like, no disrespect, all the alphabet, you know, the those that's homosexual and what they call them, wherever they else, they have their own mission. And I don't disrespect no one, but I understand the power of people coming together. I understand the power of putting your money behind what you believe in. I understand that. And if you don't do that, you have no fight. People are going to make decisions for you. You can't hold people accountable. This is what I know. But us as a people, we are so emotional. Your mom will sit up here and argue with you all day, talk about you ain't no Democrat and this, that, and the other. I said, but mom, why are you a Democrat? They couldn't even tell you. They couldn't even tell you law and policy. They said, well, what law and policy has Biden done? What law and policy has Trump done? They couldn't even tell you. But they can tell you how Trump talked crazy. But your employer talk crazy. The officer talk crazy. The register at the grocery store talk crazy. I just saw in Texas how the damn Ku Klux Klan and those so-called pro people that's for Trump on the corner calling little misnomer black kids nigglets. That's just how they believe. But what do we believe and understand? I told y'all, I have tough skin. A Negro killed my brother. I'm from Flint, Michigan. Nobody can get on YouTube and hurt my feelings of saying something about me and don't really know me and don't know I give my clothes off of the shirt off my back for our movement. Don't know all the work that I've done for women on welfare and children that's been locked up and all the charitable things that I've done. I'm on Instagram. My people know what I've done. In my city of Flint, I gave away 1,000 backpacks full with pencils and papers. My dad was the executive director for Genesee County. I helped so many women on welfare, own houses, and get cars. I helped so many brothers that know how to be fathers. So I don't have a problem with nobody saying nothing about me on no YouTube. I'm built for this. But it shows how messed up we are as a people, that we'll get behind a political party instead of understanding who we are as a people and having our own party and saying this is what we believe, this, not, and the other. We're not voting for no one or put no one in position unless this is on paper. And we don't do that. We don't do that as a people. We're not even there yet. Everybody right now emotional. They want to see the first so-called a woman president. And I say, why does that matter? Instead of having the right person in position. I don't care about having a first this and a first that. I deal with the spirit of God, of Allah. I want the right person in position. I don't want a misnomer black person or a misnomer Moorish person or a misnomer whatever you want to call yourself in a position just because you melanated and you don't know anything and you can't speak for the people. Why do I care? So part one of Stolen Legacy, when I be speaking to all my brothers and sisters that's in these Greek fraternities, and I tell everybody, look up Stephen Coakley. Stephen Coakley, look up all these old lectures. Stephen Coakley, and he's showing you that the Greek is a fraud. And he's showing you Boule. And he's showing you it's a selected group of misnomer Negroes that's playing the game. This don't have nothing to do with nobody outside of yourself. It has to do with a selected people that look like you, that took an oath to what? To lie to you and to keep you as Negro, blacks, and color. I'm telling you again, research Steve Coakley. Research all his lectures on the Greek is a fraud and the Boule. And then come back and have a conversation with me. Because most of these people that be on my page that be talking is Greek fraternities. And they be mad. So chapter 1, Greek philosophy is stolen Egyptian philosophy. The teachings of the Egyptian mysteries reached other lands centuries before it reached Athens. The authorship of the individual doctrines is extremely doubtful. Extremely doubtful. The chronology of Greek philosophers is mere speculation. The compilation of the history of Greek philosophy was the plan of Aristotle, executed by his school. The next chapter, so-called Greek philosophy was alien to Greeks and their conditions of life. The period of the Greek philosophy, 640 to 322 BC, was a period of internal and external wars, and was unsuitable for producing philosophers. My professor said, well, you are a philosopher. You are an intellectual. Most of your people don't know what that means. They want you to be ignorant. They want you to argue with things, but I don't care. I'm an intellectual. I'm a philosopher. I'm a master craftsman. It's just what it is. The next chapter, Greek philosophy, was the offspring of the Egyptian mystery systems. The Egyptian theory of salvation became the purpose of Greek philosophy. Circumstances of identity between the Egyptian and the Greek systems was always shown. The abolition of Greek philosophy with the Egyptian mysteries identifies themselves. How the African continent gave its culture to the Western world. The next chapter, chapter 4, the Egyptians educated the Greeks. The effects of the Persians' conquest, the effects of the conquest of Egypt by Alexander the Greek. The Egyptians were the first to civilize the Greeks. Alexander visited the oracle of Amun in the oasis of Siwa. Yeah. Chapter 5, the pre-Socratic philosophers, or the philosophies and philosophers, and the teachings ascribed to them. The early Ionian philosophers and their doctrines, the Pythagoras and his doctrines, the Eclectic philosophers and the doctrines, the later Ionian or Ionians philosophers and their doctrines, summary of the conclusions concerning the pre-Socratic philosophers, and the history of the four qualities and the four elements, the doctrines of the early Ionic, the Eclectic, and the later Ionic philosophers, and the Pythagoras are traced to their Egyptian origin. The doctrine of the four qualities and the four elements is traced to its Egyptian origins. Plagiarism shown to be a common practice among the Greek philosophers who borrowed from one another, but chiefly from Pythagoras, who obtained his ideas from the Egyptians. The doctrines of Adam by Democritus is traced to its Egyptian origin, as well as his large number of books. He taught nothing new. So when my brothers and sisters be saying they some Greek gods, and I love my brothers and sisters, one of my homies is a Q dog. But when I try to tell my brother, I said, this ain't just no game. This ain't just jumping around and doing all this stuff. What do we know? And if it's so prophetic, if it's some history and some knowledge into what we're doing, why it's all hazing, and why people are not initiated with the wisdom, and why brothers don't come out of those organizations after they went through the hazing and knowledgeable of who they are. Why they call themselves some Greek god? Why? And they put Greek before the Egyptian. That should tell you something about our brothers and sisters. That should tell you something about our brothers and sisters. I know a lot of preachers that's Greek fraternity, and they get you with this black stuff. But we get upset with what I'm saying. The Athenian philosophers, Socrates, his life, date and place of birth, his economic status and personality, his trial and death, Crito's attempt to smuggle him out of prison. Phaedo describes the final scene before his death. The doctrines of the nous, the supreme good, opposites and harmony, the immortality of the soul, and the self-knowledge. Summary of conclusions. The doctrines of Socrates are traced to their Egyptian origin, and he taught nothing new. So when my brothers be joining these Greek organizations, and then their so-called potentates and even these black Freemasons, when they see me and they potentate was be like, well, yeah, he's Melchizedek. He's 99 degrees. They all know me. The importance of the farewell conversion of Socrates with his pupils and friends is set forth. So when I deal with Plato, all this pseudo stuff, his early life, his travels and academy, his dispute writings, his doctrines, the theory of ideas, and its application to natural phenomena include A, the real and unreal, B, the nous, and C, the creation. The ethical doctrine concerning A, the highest good, B, definition of virtue, and C, the cardinal virtues. The doctrine of the idea state, whose attributes are compared with the attributes of the soul and justice. When I get into the summary of conclusion, the doctrines of Plato are traced to their Egyptian origin, as he taught nothing new. I told y'all it's nothing new under the sun. It's for us to resurrect ourselves. It's for us as a family. But all these people, I'm a Greek this, I'm a Q dog, I'm a Kappa, I'm a black this, I'm a black Muslim, I'm a black Hebrew Israelite, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. They laughing at us because we don't know law and policy, and we're not a people, which we were created by the Creator. That's why I said I don't mind being disrespected by people on my YouTube channel, because in my academia endeavors, on the college campuses at Grand Canyon University and at Cleary University. Before I moved out here to Arizona, I'm from Flint, Michigan. I went to a school in Howell, Michigan, where I met the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. He pulled me over, saw the stuff on my car, because I'm a spirit builder, was like, oh, brother, I apologize. And then one of the workers from GCU came when I said the cops pulled me over. They sat down and told me everything. I started pulling out documents that they studied the Quran, aka the Quran. They just put an L in it. It's called the Quran. I started pulling out the documents. I started pulling out all the documents. The European called himself the ancient rite of mystics nobles of the shrine in 1914, but they got all their science from Moors way before that. I showed y'all this. So do you think I care about somebody on YouTube saying something about me, disrespecting me? I don't care. But I know who you are. And don't be afraid when people come up to you, be like, why are you disrespecting this man? You know, D. Mercier Bay from Flint. I have to know his real name. Like, I know people by their names. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I know a lot of people. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I grew up on Patterson Street. I own a lot of land in my city. My baby brother, Akil Jelani Goodman Bay, was murdered in Flint, Michigan. My father is Larry Goodman. He was the executive director of Genesee County. My uncle, Michael Finney, worked for the governor. Like, it's a lot that I know, but I'm not going to say, because why should I? When our own people think they know something more than me, I'm not here to have a pissing contest with Negroes. Like, what I tell people, everybody knows something. Everybody knows something. I'm not here to have a pissing contest, but ain't it sad that our own people are the only ones that do that? And then when we deal with other truth seekers and when we deal with all other nationalities, they come together for one common goal. For one common goal. We talk about the European Jew and about being Jewish and how they rule the world. Why do they rule the world? Why do they rule the world? I don't care if you people call it they the fake Jews and all this. Okay, but why do they rule the world? They took up your banner, they took up your laws, and they ran with it. They don't disrespect each other. They're not on the internet calling each other this and accusing people of this. They operate on one science. We don't do that. We don't do that. And that's what I tell you, all the different nationalities, the misnomer Chinese, the Jews, the misnomer Mexicans that's building their own community. They say the misnomer black man, the Moor, the Muslim, whatever you want to call yourself, which they copy our culture. They say y'all Negroes can't agree. Y'all use the internet and disrespect each other. That's what they say. That's what they say about us, especially Moors. When I get historical, most Moors don't even know who Deuce Muhammad is. Most Moors don't even know who Abdul Hamid Solomon is, because we so caught up with a doctrine. We so caught up with our prophet Noble Drew Ali, what he brought back to us. But our prophet was inspired by men before him. And if we're not historical, then we playing Crips and Bloods. When I talk about Angelo Solomon, the first Moorish Mason. So let me continue. Magic is shown to be the key to the interpretation of ancient religion and philosophy. The authorship of his books is disputed by modern scholars, and ancient historians deny his authorship of the Republic and Times. The allegory of the charioteer and winged steeds is traced to its Egyptian origin. So when you see the double-edged bird or the double-edged wings and it's 33 degrees, it's prophetic, but it's just watered down. Now, when I deal with Aristotle, because this is what they teach your kids in school. Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato, they teach your kids that those are the greatest thinkers of the world. But I had the pleasure to do oral dissertations at universities with professors, with PhDs, and they couldn't say nothing. And I said, I don't even have to come from our scholars. I can use all your scholars. I started pulling out George G.M. James. I started pulling out Albert Churchward. I started pulling out all the documents and things that they know. I started pulling out all the Masonic documents that prove who we are. And then I started pulling out all the charters. They couldn't say nothing. Because I told y'all, I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. I'm going to be transparent with everything. I'm initiated into the wisdom. Never took no oath. But I'm initiated. You have to be introduced to the science. And we shouldn't have a problem with that, brothers and sisters. Aristotle, his early life and training, his own list of books, other list of books, the doctrines, the summary of conclusions. The doctrines are traced to their Egyptian origin, as he taught nothing new. The library of Alexandria was the true source of Aristotle's large number of books. And when my professors see me and they say, your library is more extensive than Alexandria, when I tell people, I'm not bragging and boasting, I have over 1 million books and documents and scholarly PhD works and documents in my library and in my database. I've been given so much stuff by old professors and government officials that's dead because their children not into it. I've been given stuff. If I start breaking stuff out, y'all will be like, damn, where do you get this stuff from? This costs thousands of dollars. When I talk about Abramelin the Magi, it's 3 volumes. When I break it down, I don't even need the manuscripts no more. And when I'm around my European colleagues, they say, well, I just feel your vibration. I don't get disrespect from Europeans out here in Arizona. I only get disrespect from my own people. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. Why? Because a Negro killed my baby brother in Flint, Michigan. A Negro killed my baby brother, Akil Jelani Goodman Bay. A Negro killed my big cousin, Miguel Swain. So I'm not worried about nothing, y'all. I live like a dead man already. And the library of Alexandria was the true source of Aristotle's large number of books, and the lack of uniformity between the list of books point to doubtful authorship. The discrepancies and the doubts in this life. And I have all the books that he plagiarized the wisdom from. The next chapter, chapter 7, the curriculum of the Egyptian mystery system, the education of Egyptian priests according to their orders, the education of the Egyptian priests, the 7 liberal arts, the several liberal arts. So I don't care when people on here talking about more science, man, I'm down with the liberal arts. I'm an educator. Just like when I deal with Credo Matua and the Moradines of the synagogue, when I deal with all those scholars and all those medicine men that I had the pleasure to meet, they say you could go to any continent and resurrect and teach the people the same way Haile Selassie did when he sent all his Ethiopian youth or his Ethiopian or his Abyssinian youth to educate themselves and come back and build the world up. Secret systems of languages and mathematical symbolism, because before you had the written word, you had signs and symbols of the primordial man. Albert Churchward worked the book. I think, let me see if I can find that book for y'all as I proceed. I think I got it over here. I think I may have it. Oh man, I got so much stuff put up. It don't even make no sense. Yeah, I got you, brother. You good? Yeah, I'm good. You good? Yeah, I'm good, fam. Now I'm just trying to find this book, but I got so much stuff, man. It'll take me all day to find all the books that I have for you try to share with my brothers and sisters. Yeah. Right. Okay. My bad. Man, I got so much on there, man. I don't want to, it'll take me too long to pull out all my books, but I'll do it later. But it's Albert Churchward, Signs and Symbols of the Primordial Man. And I have all these books converted to PDF in my library. And if any of my muftis will jump on, because a lot of my muftis are on my Facebook page, muftis jump on my YouTube channel, muftis. I had a professor say, why do your own people disrespect you like that? I say, man, because we don't know who we are. And we respect others, but we don't respect each other. And I'm okay with that. So chapter 8, the Memphite theology is the basis of all important doctrines of Greek philosophy. The history, descriptions, and complete text of the Memphite theology are given, and the subject matter is divided into 3 parts. Hey, peace, Ma. That's my mom on my YouTube channel, and I'm on my Facebook page, Ma. That's what I tell people, man. A lot of people really don't even know me, don't even know the work I put in. And that's why they say our people are lost due to a lack of knowledge, because we refuse to learn, because we are diss our own brothers and sisters. It's sad. I've been called more stuff by my own brothers and sisters when people talk about the white man and a white man, this and that and the other. And I'd be like, well, damn, I'm in Arizona, which is a red state. I've never been disrespected by no European. Never. They always say, peace, sheik, peace, rabbi. I teach. I don't have no fake degrees. I've never been disrespected by a European in my adult life since I've been in Arizona, since I've been a teacher and a map and a guide. Not one time. Not one time. Only thing they asked me was, would I come to the college campus and lecture and teach their kids and mentor their kids on science? I ain't never been disrespected. I speak in their Masonic houses. I speak at their Jewish churches. A lot of people say, they were like, well, you just Angelo Solomon in the flesh. I never been disrespected by no European. And when I talk about law and policy, and if anybody know me, especially my members, I told y'all what was getting ready to happen with this political party. I told y'all, and I don't mean no disrespect, but we so emotional because we don't like what a person's saying, but your own brother and sister would dog you and call you a nigga and kill you. They did it to my brother. And then when we get in politics, we get so caught up in emotion. And I talk about law and policy. I say, what law and policy do you know? Because I've been telling people about Projects 2025. It ain't nothing. It's just regurgitated science. Misnomer black people have no power when you call yourself black. You just don't. You just don't. And if we think that, it's crazy. If we think that misnomer black people have any power in any politics and in anything that's going on in the world, you got to be crazy, because black have no status in law. So the Memphite theology is shown to be the source of modern scientific knowledge. The identity of the creation of the init with the nebular hypothesis, and the identity of the sun god Atom with the atom of science. The Memphite theology opens great possibilities for modern scientific research. The Greek concept of the atom is shown to be erroneous. With the new interpretation of the atom, the Memphite theology provides a vast field of scientific secrets yet to be discovered. When I tell people, I'm always transparent. I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. I'm 99 degrees, ancient rite of Memphis and Mizraim. If anybody don't know what that means, that's our fault, because we think this science and we think this Kemetic science belong to someone else, because our brothers, our uncles, and our fathers have taken an oath. They became Negro Black Masons. They became Boule. And people act like they don't know what I'm talking about. They don't help brothers and sisters build the world up. They die with all their secret knowledge and everything, and they die, and everything that they have go back to the society. It's just like a Catholic priest, why they don't want the priest to get married. But that's a whole nother teaching. Part 2, social reformation through the new philosophy of African redemption. Social reformation, the knowledge that the African continent gave civilization, the arts and the sciences, religion, philosophy, is destined to produce a change in the mentality both of the misnomer white and the black. There are three persons in the drama of Greek philosophy. 1, Alexander the Greek. 2, Aristotle's school. And 3, the ancient Roman government, who are responsible for a false tradition about Africa and the social plight of people. That's why I tell my brothers and sisters, how can you be a Greek god? I love all my brothers and sisters. I love all my Q-Dog brothers, all my Kappa, all of ABCs. But then when they call themselves a Greek god, I'm like, dude, you got to be retarded. And then when it comes down to historicalness, we don't know nothing. Both the white and black people, misnomer, are common victims of a false tradition about Africa. And this fact makes both races partners in the solution of the problem of racial reformation. I told brothers and sisters, they let the powers that be play a black and a white game instead of the people versus the power. And we are the solution to this. Once we come together as a people, it's over. But we let these pro-black people, like these so-called people on the internet, talk about the black this, the white this. Man, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, sir. But we don't understand that. The method suggests for racial reformation, re-education. Carter G. Woodson told you the miseducation of the black man come from our preachers, our teachers, and those brothers in those fraternities and those black Masons. You can't be mad at facts. Re-education of both groups by worldwide dissemination of Africans or Africa's contribution to civilization. The abandonment of false worship of Greek intellect. When the brothers talk about they a Greek god and they bow down to the Greek. Really? Really? Special attention must be given to the re-education of missionaries and a constant demand made for a change in missionary politics and policy. When brothers call themselves Greek gods. Only one fraternity I know where they deal with their African culture, and they are the Iotas. And they are the Iotas. Peace Noble, who is that? Malik, you on my Moorish haberdasher. Jump on our YouTube or on our Facebook page, Mufti. But gratitude for you being there too and being a voice on that platform. That's one of my Muftis. Malik Reed El, that's our minister of fitness and health. The new philosophy of African redemption, a state and explanation of the new philosophy of African redemption are made. Misnomer black people must cultivate methods of counteraction against A, the false worship of the Greek intellect, B, missionary literature and exhibition, and C, must demand a change in missionary policy. Introduction. Characteristics of Greek philosophy. The term Greek philosophy to begin with is a misnomer. Do anybody know what a misnomer is? A misnomer is Negro, black, and color, and African American. Those are all misnomers. Black Mason, black Christian, black Hebrewite, all misnomers. Because according to science and law, black means death. And we connected to science and law. So how are you going to be black? God didn't create nothing black. And see, we play this game. That's why I said misnomer black people have no fight in these politics. They have no fights because I told y'all Biden was going to drop out a long time ago. And all these Democrats knew that. They already knew the mental capacity of this person. And then here it is. If you a Democrat and you ain't even going to vote the vice president to be president, you ain't even going to back behind him. What type of crap is that? What type of crap is that? But I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm introduced to all these societies and I'm bringing something back to my people. Until we put our money, until we come together, we have no fight. Why? Because misnomer black people are scattered. That's what they wanted to do to us. They wanted to scatter our intellectual capacity. Real talk, Malik. I told y'all, man, Malik, I'm glad you're on my YouTube page. I done wrote everybody's name down. And my homeboy in Michigan, he was like, Sheik, this person said this about you. This is where they at. And he was like, what's wrong with your own people? He was like, I don't see the European Jews doing that. He said, I only see Negroes doing that, disrespecting you. and he is so-called Middle Eastern. I'm his teacher. He is so-called Middle Eastern, and I'm his teacher. He said, because you're not black, you understand who you are. You are the true Arab. A-R-A-P, not A-R-A-B. I only get disrespect by my own people, Noble Malik. I told you, so when I first jumped on here, Noble Malik, somebody jumped on my page, was like, you crazy like you on cocaine. And then as soon as I jump on my other platform, because I'm on my laptop, one of my college students was like, your people is retarded. And he was like, people on social media clearly don't know who you are, Sheik. He was like, they clearly don't know who you are. That'll jump on the internet and just babble off at the mouth, and you've been educating us for over 10 years. That's why I said my people lost. And you got to have tough skin when you're dealing with your own people, because your own people will persecute you. Your own people will try to kill you. They killed my brother, killed Jelani Goodman Bay. My mama on here, Malik. You see my mama on here. People know me. Y'all know me. And the first thing that a Negro would do is start making accusations. That tell you how far we have to go. And I'm not going to come back with my brothers and sisters with anger, with spite. That just know I need, and it's the use of a doctor. I know our people is sick. I know our people is sick in the head. I know that. Just like the other day, a brother jumped on my page talking crazy. Then in the same breath, he said, no disrespect. And I apologize. And I respect you. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. That's just like a little kid in elementary school that really like a person. And instead of telling them that they like them and they admire them, you want to try to persecute them. But instead of telling them that I aspire to what you're doing, brother, I honor what you're doing. Why? Because you look like me. That's the problem I have with my own people. I don't have no problem with no other nationality. Just like I tell my European Masons, you are not the joke of Masonry. The Negro is. Why? Because the Negro will call himself a damn widow's son. And the European will call himself a son of a Muslim, Malik. And I mean this. The ancient Egyptians had developed a very complex religious system called the Mysteries, which was also the first system of salvation. Thank you, Malik. That's why I love when you be on my pages, because you work in real life. You travel all over and you see it. Just like when you was at work and you was telling me, because you work at the airport and the brother gonna call you a nigga and all this. And you say, man, I'm not no nigga. And he want to fight you. Here it is, my brother want to fight you. After you done told him, man, don't disrespect me. You won't call a European that. They'll call it anti-Semitic. And you respect the European, the white man, the Albion, the Trelodike to the fullest degree. And you'll never disrespect him. But the first thing they'll do is disrespect you, Malik. They'll disrespect me. When you tell these goofy Negroes that you're not black, you're not Negro. Yes, black is beautiful, but that's not our nationality. And what we will do, what do misnomer black people do? Get on this social media or see you in life and disrespect you, and they'll kill you. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? They'll accuse you, and they don't know that your turban, the followers of Yahshua wore a turban. The high priest in the Bible wore a turban with the jewel on it. Hiram Abith, which was built Solomon Temple, wore the fez. Your fez is your national headdress. On the Liberty Bell, Leviticus 25:10 represents your fez. It represents your fez. And they don't know that. They'll call you a Al-Islam Muslim or this and that and the other. But they won't disrespect the European Jew with his yarmulke. They won't disrespect the misnomer Arab with his turban on. They won't disrespect the Al-Islam Muslim with his kufi on. That's a bonnet. In the Bible, it's a bonnet. The followers of Yahshua wore a bonnet, wore a turban with the jewel on it, wore his kuntra or tunic like we wear, cotton or silk. But we disrespect our own people. That's where we at with this science, where I say we a lost cause with Negroes. As such, it is regarded the human body as a prison house of the soul, which could be liberated from its bodily impotence through the disciplines of the arts and sciences. The arts and sciences, reading, math, history, spirituality, agriculture, understanding micro and macroeconomics, understanding how to read and advance from the level of a mortal to a God. This was the notion of the summum bonum, of the greatest good, to which all men must aspire. When I talk about credo matua, when I had the pleasure to study under a lot of those elders, and they say, well, you just like credo matua. What? An elder, a scholar, an educator that can go back to any part of the continent of Africa and teach your people. This was the notion of the summum, which I said is the basis of all ethical concepts. And the Egyptian mystery system was also a secret order, and membership was gained by what? Initiation and a pledge to secrecy. When I started pulling out all my documents, how the white, how the European and the Albion, misnomer Black Masons don't have none of this because they got a potentate over them. I'm going to continue to start pulling out all documents. When I talk about Albert Churchward, Signs and Symbols of the Primordial Man, and all his books he wrote about Masonry, he sounds just like me. He tell you the truth. When I talk about George G.M. James, all these people, all these Europeans that agree with me, that's spirit builders. Why not my own people? Why do we disrespect our own brothers and sisters? And the teachings was graded and delivered orally to the neophyte and under the circumstances of secrecy. The Egyptians developed secret systems of writing and teaching and forbade their initiates from writing what they had learned. Gratitude to you, brother. You say gratitude for you being a map and a guide so that as I travel, I can see one as well. High honor, Sheikh. High honors to you, Mufti. But after nearly 5,000 years of prohibition against the Greeks, they were permitted to enter Egypt for the purpose of education. That's like when I said, if my own brothers and sisters don't want to be educated and don't want to be resurrected, who you think I'm gonna teach? Because I deal with God's people. What's the use of a prophet and an angel? What's the use of a doctor, Noble Malik, if no one's sick? What's the use of me if all my brothers think they know something? And they want to keep, what's the use of me teaching my own people? And I can go teach other people and I'll be sought after and they don't mind paying. They don't mind giving donations. What's the use? And they taking these teachings, building themselves up, building their societies, going back to their communities, buying land, bringing kids that's under them, teaching people what they learned late, early, teaching the kids and children who they are. And they operate as a people and a community, which nobody can mess up. And they use their tax dollars to build themselves up. Huh? And they know it's power. And they know it's power in my tongue. They were permitted to enter Egypt for the purpose of their education. First through the Persian invasion, and secondly through the invasion of Alexander the Greek. From the 6th century BC, therefore, to the death of Aristotle, 322 BC. The Greeks made the best of their chance to learn all they could about Egypt culture. Most students received instructions directly from the Egyptian priests. But after the invasion of Alexander the Greek, the royal temples and libraries were plummeted and pillaged, and Aristotle's school converted the library at Alexandria into a research center. But I have all the books of Alexandria in my library. I have over 1 million books and documents, and all my members know that. There is no wonder then that the production of the unusually large number of books ascribed to Aristotle has provided a physical impossibility for any single man within a lifetime. Just like when I tell people, I deal with people that love me. I operate on love. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what you've been through. That means I can deal with you. And like, I feel like Saint Germain. Just give me 100 washwomen. When I say washwomen, it's women that's under the mission, because Negroes, they don't understand. They'll follow some bull crap. Give me 100 women that understand what I'm saying. Give me my mama. Give me my cousin Isis. Give me my wife. Give me all the empresses that's been dealing with me. And we change this movement. And I change your perspective of your children. And I change your thought process. Give me y'all. We can change this world. I've been casting my net out. I ain't worried about no man that think they know something, that got a 3rd grade intellectual capacity, that haven't put no work in academically or spiritually. Give me the women. I need all the women and I need your children, and watch me change this whole society, and watch these Negroes be on the outside looking in, and watch they bow down. They're going to have to, because y'all not going to be dealing with these jacklegs anymore. The history of Aristotle's life has done him far more harm than good, since it carefully avoids any statement relating to his visit to Egypt, either on his own account or in company with Alexander the Great. When he invaded Egypt, this silence of history at once throws doubt upon the life and achievements of Aristotle. He is said to have spent 20 years under the tutorship of Plato, listen clearly, who is regarded as a philosopher. But how? How? Yet he graduated as the greatest of scientists of antiquity. So two questions might be asked. A, how could Plato teach Aristotle what he himself did not know? And B, why should Aristotle spend 20 years under a teacher from whom he could learn nothing? If that's the case, this bit of history sounds incredible. And again, in order to avoid suspicion over the extraordinary number of books ascribed to Aristotle, history tells us that Alexander the Greek gave him a large sum of money to get the books. Here again, the history sounds incredible, and three statements must here be made. Watch this. A, in order to purchase books on science, they must have been in circulation so as to enable Aristotle to secure them. So all this stuff has been here already. If the books were in circulation before Aristotle purchased them, and since he is not supposed to have visited Egypt at all, then the books in question must have been circulated amongst the Greek philosophers. And C, if circulated amongst Greek philosophers, brothers and sisters, then we would expect the subject matter of such books to have been known before Aristotle's time. And consequently, he could not be credited either with producing them or introducing new ideas of science. But we give credit to the European, to the Albion, to the Trelodite, and we say we Negroes, we black, we this, and blacks don't know nothing. Blacks ain't never written nothing. Negroes ain't never written nothing. Another point of considerable interest to the accounted for was that attitude of the Athenian government towards this so-called Greek philosophy, which is regarded as foreign in origin and treated it accordingly. Only a brief study of history is necessary to show that Greek philosophers were undesirable citizens who throughout the period, their investigations were victim of relentless persecution and at the hand of the Athenian government. Anaxagoras was imprisoned and exiled. Socrates was executed. Plato was sold into slavery, and Aristotle. Look at what I'm saying. But our brothers and sisters call themselves some Greek gods. Here it is, our brothers, the Qs, the Kappas, even our empresses. Oh, we Greek this. Really, woman? Really, brother? Research Steve Coakley. Research The Greek is a Fraud from Steve Coakley. Research the book that I'm giving you, Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. I'll give it to you for a small donation. And then I start bringing all stuff to you. I converted this book to a PDF. This is one of the historical Masonic books that all the Europeans, well, they all don't have. But when I share this with them, they be begging me to give it to them. And I do. And I got way more than this. I got way more. Way more. But Aristotle was indicted and exiled, while the earliest of them, Pythagoras, was expelled from Corinth in Italy. Can you imagine the Greeks making such an about turn as to claim the very teachings which they had at first persecuted and openly rejected? They rejected all these teachings. So how can you be a Greek god? Certainly they knew they were upsurging and they were bringing about what they had never produced. And as we enter step by step into our study, the greater do we discover evidence which leads us to the conclusion that Greek philosophers were not the authors of Greek philosophy, but the Egyptian priests and hierophants. I'm setting the precedent. Aristotle died in 322 BC, not many years after he had been aided by Alexander the Greek to secure the largest quantity of scientific books from the royal libraries. When I talk about the royal archives where I study from, they are the royal libraries where the ancients studied at. I have them all. And temples of Egypt. In spite, however, of such great intellectual treasure, the death of Aristotle marked the death of philosophy among the Greeks, who did not seem to possess the natural ability to advance these sciences. And consequently, history informs us that the Greeks were forced to make a study of ethics, which they also borrowed from the Egyptian summum bonum, the SUMMUM, Look that up, or which we call it in modern terms, the greatest good. The two other Athenian philosophers must be mentioned, Socrates, Plato, who also became famous in history as philosophers and great thinkers. But every schoolboy believes that when he hears or reads the command, know thyself, he is hearing or reading the words which were uttered by Socrates. But that's false. But the truth is that the Egyptian temples carry inscriptions on the outside addressed to the neophytes, and among them was the injunction, know thyself, to hope secure. Socrates copied these words from the Egyptian templates. He plagiarized them and was not the author. In academia, because I'm a scholar, we have to give credit to the original thought, or you plagiarized it. So if I say I gathered, compiled, or divinely prepared, so in college, when I have to give references, and it's all different ways to give references, you can put it in indentions, or you can put it in other forms. And in academia, when you were educated, when you're on a PhD level and a master level, you have to write in APA format or write in a Chicago review format or in a Chicago style. All mystery temples inside and outside of Egypt carry such inscriptions, just like the weekly bulletins of our modern churches. Similarly, every schoolboy believes that when he hears this, they think it's some Socrates and Plato. But it's all Egyptian stuff, brothers and sisters. All. Plato copied what he has been called the four cardinal virtues: justice, wisdom, temperance, and courage. It is indeed surprising how, for centuries, that the Greeks have been praised by the Western world for intellectual accomplishments, which belong without a doubt to the Egyptians or the peoples of North Africa. And another noticeable characteristic of Greek philosophy is the fact that most of the Greek philosophers use the teachings of Pythagoras as their model. And consequently, they have introduced nothing new in the field of philosophy, including the Pythagorean system. We find the doctrines: A, opposite; B, harmony; C, fire; D, mind. Since it is composed of what? Fire atoms. Immortality, expressed as transmigration of the souls, the summum bonum of the purpose of philosophy. And these, of course, are reflected in the system of Heraclius, Parmenides, Democritus, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. And the next thing that is peculiar about Greek philosophy, brothers and sisters, is its use in literature. The Egyptian mystery system was the first secret order of history, and the publication of its teachings was strictly prohibited. This explains why initiates like Socrates did not commit to writing their philosophy, and why the Babylonians and the Chaldeans, who were very closely associated with them, also refrained from publishing these teachings. We can at once see how easily it was for ambiguous and ambitious and even envious nations to claim a body of unwritten knowledge, which would make them great in the eyes of the primitive world. The absurdity, however, is easily recognized when we remember that the Greek language was used to translate several systems of teachings, which the Greeks could not succeed in claiming. Such were the translation of the Hebrew scriptures into Greek, called the Septuagint. That's right, the Septuagint. And the translation of the Christian Gospels, Acts, and the epistles in Greek, still called the Greek New Testament. It is only the unwritten philosophy of the Egyptians translated into the Greek that has met with such an unhappy fate, a legacy stolen by the Greeks. One account of reason already given, I have been compelled to handle the subject matter of this science and in this book in the way it has been handled, namely A, with a frequency of repetition, because one, just like when I teach in repetition. It's the method of the Greek philosophy to use a common principle to explain several different doctrines, and B, the quotation and analysis of doctrines, because it is the object of this book and this science to establish the Egyptian origin. And this cannot be satisfactorily done if the doctrines are not presented. Greek philosophy is somewhat of a drama whose chief actors were Alexander the Greek, Aristotle, and his successors in the pre-pathetic school, and the Roman Emperor Justinian. Alexander invaded Egypt and captured the royal library at Alexandria and plummeted it, tried to burn it up. Aristotle made a library of his own with what? Those books that he had left over, while his school occupied the buildings and used it as a research center. And then finally, Justinian, Justin, the Roman emperor, abolished the temples and schools of philosophy. And another name for the Egyptian mysteries, which the Greeks claim as their product, and on another account of which they have been falsely praised and honored for centuries by the world, by misnomer Negro, blacks, and colored. Why? Because they created these Greek fraternities. Instead of creating Egyptian fraternities or they so-called African fraternities, they want to call themselves Greek gods as its greatest philosophies and thinkers. This contribution to civilization was really and truly made by Egyptians and the African continent, but not by the Greeks or the European continent. We sometimes wonder why the people of African descent find themselves in such a social plight as they do. But the answer is plain enough. Had it not been for this drama of Greek philosophy and its actors, the African continent would have had a different reputation and would have enjoyed a status of respect among the nations of the world. And this unfortunate position of the African continent and its people appears to be the result of misrepresentation upon which the structure of race prejudice has been built, and the historical world opinion that the African continent is backwards, that its people are backward, and that their civilization is also backward. Finally, my brothers and sisters, the dishonesty in the movement of the publication of a Greek philosophy becomes very glaring when we refer to the fact purposely that by calling the theorem of the square of the hypotenuse the Pythagorean theorem, it has concealed the truth for centuries from the world, who ought to know that the Egyptians taught Pythagoras and the Greeks what mathematics they knew. And I want to mention here that among the many books which I found helpful in this presentation, which the author says, when he present the work, are the Intellectual Adventures of Man and the Egyptian Religion by Professor Henry Frankfurt, and the Mediterranean World in Ancient Times by Professor Eva Stanford. I'm giving y'all books to research. I'm gonna write it down for y'all can take y'all time. It's a book called The Intellectual Adventure of Man. The Intellectual Adventure of Man and The Egyptian Religion by Professor Henri Frankfurt, Frankfort, and another book called The Mediterranean World in Ancient Times. I'm writing this down for y'all can get it because I already got these books. It's by Professor E.V.A. Sanford. So all my muftis that's on here, I hope y'all wrote those names down so I can send them books to y'all because I haven't sent them to y'all yet. And all you got to do is go in the book that I sent y'all of George G.M. James. If I didn't send it to all my muftis, I'll send it to y'all again. And it's in the book. And then I'll send y'all all those ancient documents. So I want y'all to know that I got a little bit more time. But I want y'all, and the aims of this science is to establish a better race relations in the world by revealing a fundamental truth concerning the contribution of the African continent to civilization. It must be borne in mind that the first lessons in the humanities is to make a people aware of their contribution to civilization. And the second lesson is to teach them about other civilizations. And by this dissertation of truth about the civilization of individual peoples, a better understanding amongst them and a proper appraisal of each other should follow. This notion is based upon the notion of the great mastermind. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. It's in your Bible. Consequently, this book is an attempt to show that the true authors of the Greek philosophy were not the Greeks, but the people of North Africa, commonly called the Egyptians, and the praise and honor falsely given to the Greeks for centuries belong to the people of North Africa, and therefore to the African continent. And consequently, this theft of the African legacy by the Greeks led to the erroneous world opinion that the African continent has made no contribution to the civilization and that its people are naturally backwards. This is the misrepresentation. Like Stevie Wonder said, misrepresented people. In 1492, you fell upon the shores, 700 years, educated by the Moors. This is the representation that has been the basis of race prejudice, which has affected all people of color. Just like when I get in masonry, all my European Masons will tell you that they are son of Muslim. When you see the Masons, the Scottish Rite Masons, and they wear the fez with Islam and Mecca, I'm telling you, they know exactly what I'm saying. This Sunday, I'm going to give the whole lecture again and show you how the misnomer black man is the father of civilization proved by the Bible. I'm going to do it again because like my educator and my professor said, continue to teach in circles, sheep, because we know this. This is for you to resurrect your people. You got to go back home and teach your people. They should accept you with open arms. If we do, if they think we so heavy. And for centuries, the world has been misled by the original source of the arts and sciences. For centuries, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, which they teach your kids in pseudo-academia. They've been falsely idolized. If you ask your kids when they go to school, who are the best thinkers of the world, they're going to come home and say Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. And I'm going to tell you, you a lie and ain't no truth in you. They show them as models of intellectual greatness. And for centuries, the African continent has been called the Dark Continent because Europe coveted the honor of transmitting to the world the arts and sciences. But I'm here to show y'all. And I'm happy to bring this information to the attention to the world so that on the one hand, all races and creeds might know the truth and free themselves from those prejudices which have corrupted human relations. And on the other hand, the people of African origin might be emancipated from their serfdom of inferiority complex, thinking somebody better than you, not thinking you educated, accepting welfare, not accepting to come together and let the teacher like myself teach and use our tax dollars to support. Give donations to our temple and school. They don't want us to do that. While the European Jews continue to do that, they continue to build their schools. I told y'all what's going to happen is all this education and all this stuff that I'm teaching is going to be out the schools. They're going to burn all the libraries. They're going to burn all these books that I'm teaching, but I converted them all. I have a library just like Alexandria. They're going to have to kill me and destroy all my muftis. And before they do that, I'm trying to put it in all y'all hands for small dollars and donations. I have a library with over 1 million books and documents, period. I told y'all Amazon spent $25 million trying to convert books to a PDF and take stuff out the books. It's a book called The African. Not The African, called The Arab by Bertram Thomas. I sent y'all all these books. Bertram Thomas, research what I'm talking about. It's a book called The Arab by Bertram Thomas. And Bertram Thomas, which was a European, stayed with the so-called Arab. And Bertram Thomas tell you that the Arab is not nobody from no fake Middle East. You can be mad all you want to. They might be emancipated from their serfdom. And it's a new era of freedom. So I want y'all to know this, man. Please, as I close, y'all got to know this. We got to come together as a people. We got to come together as a people. Because the Greek philosophy didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing that we didn't do already. It's all stolen legacy. Not some, not a little bit of it. All of it is stolen legacy. All of it is stolen legacy. All of it. And as I started breaking all of the book down in later dissertations, I just wanted to give a synopsis and an introduction of what I'm talking about. And if any of my muftis and my members didn't have it, all y'all going to get it. I know I sent it to y'all a while ago. So I sent it to Lamarck. I know some of my people didn't get it. I know Isis, you didn't get it. I know some of my other people didn't get it. I'm going to send it to y'all because I need the women and I need the children. I need y'all, man. I need y'all to help me build this temple. And we can do it. How? With the small dollars that we give away to Uncle Sam. We can build our teachers. We can build our school. We can build our temples. We can build our spiritual house. So when people can start coming to my temple, when you need somebody to talk to you, when your kids that need some help, when they can see somebody that's educated and anointed, that ain't no drug dealer, that ain't in the streets, that's not no rapper, where our doors open every day, where I can show y'all how to build our city. That's what I'm about. I'm not about no drama. I done lost so many family members to this niggerly stuff. I told y'all, I done lost my baby brother, Akil Jelani Goodman Bey, to these streets. I'm willing to come back home to my city of Flint, Michigan, and we can build the temple. I'm willing to come on anybody's podcast. I'm willing to come to anybody's city. But like my European scholars say, well, they should make sure you good, she. Like they don't know what you're doing. We give our money willingly to Uncle Sam. This is what all my educators say. Greek philosophy is nothing but Egyptian stolen legacy. And so I'm not even mad. I don't have a problem with none of my people that join these Greek fraternities. But today, when you act like it's something and y'all separate from everybody else, I'm going to tell you in your face that the Greek is a fraud. And you know it. And that Greek history is nothing but stolen legacy. Anybody that's on my page, y'all email me, I'll PDF you stolen legacy. And I'll print it and bind it for you. And then I start getting into all the high science and show you that the Europeans be laughing at misnumbered black people that be under that fake Greek philosophy. And the European will call himself a son of a Muslim, while misnumbered black Masons will call themselves some stupid ass widow's son. Excuse my candor. Excuse my candor. Excuse my candor when the misnumbered black Masons were with the feds and clandestine. And y'all can go on my YouTube page and I already done showed one of my European colleagues. He gave credit to Noble Drew Ali on his 135th birthday, showing y'all what this science about. Y'all can't get mad at me. I don't care. My uncle died with all his secrets. That's why I be telling my family, that's what's wrong with families. We have died with so many secrets, but we won't liberate nobody. If Freemasonry was so great, why your daddy ain't teaching his son? If the Daughters of American Revolution, which the misnomer black empresses under the so-called Eastern Stars, why you ain't teaching your children? Because the damn marriage law was under the DAR to keep us in subjugation. And if you don't know that, that's your fault. I'm not here to argue with you, but I bet you ain't no European would disrespect me. I bet you. I bet you $1 million, no European to get on here, an Eastern Star or a misnomer Scottish Rite European Mason, or get on here and disrespect me. Because I'll pull up their charter and they part of the Philosophical Research Society just like me. I haven't took no oath, but I'm initiated. See, these is facts, and facts are stubborn. These is facts. So how can any brother that's or any sister call himself a Greek god? And it's all stolen legacy. And the European to tell you that. George G.M. James will tell you that. Albert Churchward to tell you that. Signs and symbols of the primordial man. And we still gonna give credit to some Greek philosophy today? We messed up people. And I don't mean no disrespect. I did this in college. Look me up. When every Negro on the internet be trying to accuse me of something and try to act like this and that and the other, look me up and see who I am. See where I got my degrees from. See if I'm anointed and consecrated. See if I'm an author. See if I got Europeans that sit at my feet. So why not my own people? I don't have nothing else to say. I just wanted to share that with my people. I was trying to find this other ancient book, but I got so many books in my library. It's a book called Signs and Symbols of the Primordial Man by Albert Churchward. And he wrote so many other books about the Masonic history, telling us that this our science. Before the written word, it was signs and symbols. Let me see, can I find it before I close? I got a couple more minutes. Hold on. Let me see, can I find it? Give me 1 second. And I got so many books over here, man. This is crazy. Let me see, can I find it? That's crazy. Man, yo, that's crazy. The book was sitting right in my face. It's right here. The book was sitting right in my face. And I had the pleasure to lecture all this stuff on Grand Canyon University campus with PhDs, with double PhDs, with chairs of doctor studies. The chair of the doctor study is the person that you got to turn your dissertation into. So when I did my oral dissertation at GCU, I had Freemasons, European potentates, professors come from all areas and all universities, and they sat and was quiet in a mug. When I lectured in the African-American department at Grand Canyon University, I showed them that the Willie Lynch so-called letter was fake. And then I had a misnomer black professor in there that had all them damn misnomer black students read that as prerequisites to take his class. And my professor, which is a European, said, oh, you definitely haven't met one of our scholars that's a student, Sheikh Goodman Bey. And I lectured in the African-American department and shut all that mess down and showed that professor that the Willie Lynch is pseudo-academia. Showed him that if it was so prophetic, why it ain't in the Library of Congress? Showed him that black was not used to describe ethnicity in first century. It was only used to describe when the theater come down in the theaters. Showed them that how they written words, that if you from a certain area, you didn't write that way. You didn't use the regular English writing today. If you from this region, it's the way you write things. Showed them that all that was modern. Them Negro professors was quiet in the church mouse. And my European professor, which is a potentate, which is a European Jew, and I love him, was laughing, drinking his coffee with gin in it. Laughing at all them black people. He said, I told y'all. He said, I've been telling y'all this pseudo academia. So hear from one of your brothers. Then I showed them that everybody was talking about roots and misnomer black people thought roots was real. And I said, roots is fake. I said, roots is fake. Alex Haley plagiarized that from a European named Harold Colander. He wrote a book called The African. I got them all. All of these Europeans that I'm talking about is part of the Philosophical Research Society that I'm a part of. If they was alive today, they would be quiet in a church mouse. I'll give you another analogy. When you got that Negro on the internet and he's sitting with Damon Dash and he talk about some Anunnaki is some alien. And that Negro lied talking about he got a degree from Harvard, but everybody likes stupid mystic stuff. And I said the Anunnaki is nothing but the Iberians, which is the Moors. If y'all go, man, I wish I had these pictures, but I'm gonna share them on my next speaking because they in my phone. When my muftis came and visit me, it's a Greek restaurant up the street. And they got all the plates on the wall. And I love to speak to people because a lot of places I go, I eat free. And they know me. And these places are owned by Russians, a lot of misnomer Middle Easterners. And they got the place on the wall. And I wish my mufti, Lamarck, was on my YouTube page. I think he's on my, let me see. Is Lamarck on here? Yep, Lamarck is on my Facebook page. But my mufti Malik is on my YouTube page. Oh, and he's on this page. When I took them in there, I said, who is this? I'm asking the owners. They laugh. They're like, come on, Sheik. We know that's you. We know that's the Iberian. I said, oh, I thought this was the Anunnaki. He almost spit his juice out just like I did. He like, where y'all get that stuff from? It's a European named Zachariah Sitchin. It's a European named Zachariah Sitchin. Let me write this down. I forgot how I spell Zachariah Sitchin name, but research Zachariah Sitchin. All of them books that he wrote about the Anunnaki is pseudo-academia. His own Europeans that's like him as scholars and educators proved him wrong. And I proved that bull crap in my oral dissertation at GCU. But you got a lot of misnomer black people that's on these podcasts and on these so-called conscious community stuff that use Zachariah Sitchin as scholarship and main research. And I say, man, y'all Negroes is crazy. No disrespect. Zachariah Sitchin is pseudo. Even Behold the Pale Horse. Negroes get caught all up in that. Like chapter 4, when it talks about, what is chapter 4 in there? It talks about the, it can't come to me. It'll come to me in a minute, but I showed y'all how the European gonna always get you in spookism. The Negro is gonna always get you in spookism about some alien stuff. They'll give you truth and falsehood strangely mixed. But if they was here today, they wouldn't say nothing. Because I got the original tablets. They think we don't know nothing. Every Negro love Behold the Pale Horse. I'm like, why you love Behold the Pale Horse? Why? Why you love it? That ain't nothing historical. It's truth mixed with falsehood. Wait a minute. Man, I can't find it. I'll pull it out later. But chapter 4 is the secret treaty of Verona. I'm gonna have to pull a book out and show you that Negroes be quoting that don't mean nothing. Gratitude to you too, brother. You said, by the way, Moore, just want to say the first video I saw from you was about how Moore's supposed to pray. That's in my book. That's in one of my books. Dang. I can't even think of it. Moore Salat. But yeah, in chapter 4, it's called The Secret Treaty of Verona. I'll show y'all what that's all about. And people just be quoting stuff. Like the old person that everybody call a grand sheet with teeth missing. No disrespect to them. But man, I don't got time for all that mystic stuff. You said you just wanted to say the first video I saw from you was about how more is supposed to pray times a day. Thank you, Mo. I've been stopped and listening to you for years. A lot I've learned from you. Gratitude, man. And I can learn a lot from you, Noble. That's why I'm trying to gather my people. That's why I need y'all support. I need y'all support. I don't care what it is, $5, $10, support our ministry so I can flood your library. Everything that I have, I can give it to you for your donations. I had a brother that was on my Sunday school yesterday, and this is the part that touched my heart. I'm about to pull it up. I'm about to read this to y'all, man. This touched my heart so much. It blew my mind. Let me see, can I find this brother email? I'm about to find his brother email and read this email to y'all that this brother emailed me and gave gratitude. This brother is a paraplegic. This brother is a paraplegic. And when I say this brother touched me and it blew my mind, what this brother was saying. Let me see what he said. Let me find it. Let me find his email. Because he sent me the wrong one because he said that he have to speak to his phone because he a paraplegic. And he was like, brother, just thank you. He was like, I've been looking for truth for all this time. You know, okay, here we go. I said, gratitude for your donation, Noble. And I was like, my muftis will send you 2 of my PDF books and another piece of historical literature for to your email. And then I said, I think you may have put the wrong email attached to your Cash App because it says .com, then a 2. And then he said, peace, thank you for noticing. I am a quadriplegic. I speak to my phone and just honors to you. I said, man, damn. I gave that man everything. So that's why, and then that brother said, you need to shut everything down that you're doing with people that don't support you, that just jump on your page. This is what I'm telling you. I know I got another email. Let me see the other email from the other brother that sent me a donation. He was like, brothers jump on your page to try to piggyback off what you're saying. He was like, and I ain't gonna say no names. He said, but they ain't gonna give you honor knowing they've been following you for over 10 years. Knowing that with any society, they don't have no business talk about they some grand chic and all this. He was like, if I was you, I'd shut it down and get back to my city of Flint, Michigan, and go to where the people want to hear you. This is what people have been telling me. The brother called this internet stuff poor science. He said, all these Negroes on the internet is poor science. He said, all these people that give you praises, they ain't gonna support nothing with none of their dollars. This is what people tell me. When they say, oh, you this and you that, but they don't support. And so, like I said, I'm getting ready to go back to my city of Flint, Michigan. And a lot of this stuff, I'm just finna shut down. I've been doing this for over 10 years. For over 10 years. I've been lecturing and teaching for over 10 years. For over 10 years. So can't nobody tell me what I'm saying and what I'm teaching is not prophetic when I graduated from honors from colleges. And even this book right here, when you look at this book on Amazon, this is just one of the books that I converted to a PDF. And you go on Amazon and you see how much this book costs on Amazon. When I lectured Melanin, the Chemical Greatness to Black people, when you see how much all those books cost on Amazon, and I converted them to PDF where you can download on your tablet or have our company print and bind it, or go to Office Max and Staples and print it, or you can get the book printed and bind it for us. If a book costs $2,000 or $3,000, why you have a problem with getting the book printed and bind it for me for a fraction of the cost, for 10% of it, or even less? And I give you a tax-exempt receipt. And all Europeans get the knowledge from me. Because they say, man, we know you, sir. This is what my European colleagues say to me that I graduated from college with. They're like, why we go on Amazon? They're like, before we look for anything, we hit you up, sir. And then if you don't have it on your page, they send me an email or they text me. They send me an email or they text me. But all my Negroes, none of them. And so, like I said, we getting ready to shut all this down. And I'm getting ready to go back home like Cheers and get in the community. I'm going to be at all the churches. I'm going to be at all the synagogues. I'm going to be at all the Masonic houses. And I'm just going to, and I'm shutting all my Instagram and stuff down because they haven't done nothing for me. They haven't done nothing for me. All these Moors, all this stuff, they act like splinter groups. It ain't no temple that they go to. They watch videos. They say the white man this, the white man that. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But I asked them, Is your kid a Moor? Do your kid believe in what you believe in? Do your wife believe in what you believe in? No, no, no. None of this stuff means nothing to me. I told y'all, none of this stuff means nothing for me. And I didn't jump on the internet to make no money. I jumped on the internet to teach my people, just like you would go to church and you would send your kid with Big Mama for a couple dollars. I do the same. Man, I done been to California, I done been to Vegas, I done been to Detroit, I done been to Sacramento, I done been to Florida, I done been to Miami, I done been all over. I got my passport, I'm getting ready to go to Europe. I told y'all, man, my professors introduced me to a university. He said, you need to go to Oxford and Cambridge and lecture to those college students because they the ones that are gonna listen to you. Your own people don't give a damn. Especially the ones in the states that call them Moors because they think they sovereign citizens. We too busy arguing with each other. We too busy dressing like somebody in the Middle East or the misnomer Middle East. We don't support nothing. That's why we can't have a true temple and a school of education. That's why our babies can't learn nothing and don't learn their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. That's why our babies are getting misdiagnosed by people that's not doctors and PhDs. That's why a lot of our brothers got 3rd grade intellectual. But I already teach in college campus. When he said Asir the Duke teach in college, well, they just be lecturers. And in academia, I'm a graduate from Grand Canyon University and Cleary University. So in all these colleges, what they have is money. They call it the student union. I already lecture in college campuses. That's why I tell most people, if I start showing y'all a lot of my videos that I was able to record on a college campus, but the student union keep them for themselves because I'm under their dime and I don't be able to bring my camera and stuff because they keep it private, which we all have the right to keep things private. So I respect their privateness. I respect that. But history and law is not arbitrary. History and law is not arbitrary. Just like a lot of Moors get a damn badge, act like the AA2 number is this and that and the other. I'm not a Ninja Turtle. I don't live in a sewer. So I'm not trying to convince anyone of nothing or convert no one to nothing. And I'm not upset or angry or mad with nobody. I have a gift. And I share my gift with my brothers and sisters. I'm not here to tell nobody or act like I'm all knowing. But I know what I know. And I'm educated and anointed and consecrated. And I can go into any college house and teach, which I've been doing. And I'll be sought after from in academia, not from none of my Moors. Because most of our brothers and sisters, we act like Crips and Bloods. We deal with characters. We like, well, ooh, this person said something good. And they put them above scholars and educators and the ones that's really done the work. And that's what we do. We deal with people that's dressed up. And I don't have no problem with my brothers and sisters. I don't. I don't deal with dogma. I don't deal with arbitrary explain stuff. I don't deal with that. I'm not going to separate myself from the world. I'm not going to do that. Because the United States of America is the only place that we can talk like this. The only place that we have our religious freedoms. I mean, the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15 clearly tell us, and we want to go somewhere else. The Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15 clearly tell us that we have a right of a nationality and a right to change it. And to claim a child replaces the birth certificate. And no one would be arbitrarily denied of a nationality and a right to change it. House Joint Resolution said that we have the power to annex our El and Bay to our name. SF 180 form to ethnicity prove everything I'm saying. So I don't have no plight with no one. I don't have a plight or argument with no one when everybody be talking this stuff because see, what people said is going to bite them in their rear end. Because all the powers that be is going on the internet. They have a thing called the Sovereign Citizen Task Force. When these Moors will talk about expatriate from this de facto government, and I've been telling Moors for over 5 to 10 years that, man, that don't even make sense. No, our Prophet Noble Drew Ali or no true God man or no man from the temple like I am and create his own school is going to talk about expatriating from this de facto government. Because when you do that, who do you have? Who do you have a region with? You are a domestic terrorist right here at home. And this is no disrespect to nobody. Our people are lost due to a lack of knowledge. That ain't what I'm saying, brother. When I say that, I'm just using that to speak. I showed y'all Turtle Island. What he cracking up. Brother, please don't take my candor. Isn't that because I just showed y'all in the book. I shared this with every matter of fact, I'm gonna share this with everybody before I leave. I'm gonna share this with everybody before I leave. Like I'm saying, man, it's two documents. Like one, I give these to people, how the prophet set up the Moorish Science Temple of America. You know, it's certain things that I just be having fun. So when the person said, and I agree with you when you said, what's wrong with the Ninja Turtles? They represent us here on Turtle Island during the Napoleon Wars. We fought back with the Ninjutsu, read War and Peace. I got all those books, Noble, but I hear you. It's right here what I give freely. I understand what you're saying. I understand a lot what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Noble, I get what you're saying. It's nothing that none of my brothers can have, and I'm not acting like a know-it-all. I just have a full library. And I've been introduced to all wisdom. I have a full library. If I show you my real library in my storage unit and all the physical books that I have a full library. Man, it took me years to put it in alphabetical order. And then I have a full database, storage books on phones and tablets with over 1 million books and documents. So once again, I'm not here to argue with my brothers and sisters. I'm here to show us that we got a long way to go as a people. I don't come with no disrespect. I love all my melanated brothers and sisters. I love us all. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, brother. I understand. You see him standing on the turtle. I get what you're saying. I understand. When I say we're not no Ninja Turtles, I mean we're not in a sewer. But I understand clearly what you're saying, my brother. I'm right with you. I understand the Nani-Coke Moors, the Lanu people. The Lanu, the Lenape equals the Nani-Coke Moors. The chief tribe of the Wabanaki Confederation of the Moors was the Delaware of the Lanu, the Lenape, where they misnomered black people and our African Americans, the descendants of the Moors. When I talk about William Penn in the eyewitness account of the Lenape, the Nani-Coke Moors, research William Penn's documents and the first detailed description of the Delawares in a letter from William Penn to the Committee of the Free Society of Traders in 1683. Research that. Research that, Noble. Research William Penn's account of the Lenape Nani-Coke Moors. And then the source is William Penn to the Committee of the Free Society of Traders. Research Chief Tamanum the Blackamoor, chief of Turtle Island, Shackamum in Philadelphia. I get what you're saying. I'm with you, brother. That's why I be telling brothers, like, I'm not your enemy. I'm your brother. I love y'all. But we have to admit that some of us have a little bit more wisdom and some of us have something that we can give to our brothers and sisters. But I'm definitely with you. I just be giving pun. When I talk about the wars with the Moors, when I start pulling out a lot of documents and a lot of things that we think, a lot of stuff has been written. And this document was given to the Nation of Islam in the 30s and the 60s. They know everything that I'm talking about. They know everything that I'm talking about. They know everything what I'm talking about. So I'm just here as a light, a person that's bringing light, no matter if a person like me or not. When I start showing people documents, when I show you that Elijah Poole Bay, when I show you that the Nation of Islam had ID cards, when they used to do a lot of the stuff that we did, I'm with that too. I understand. When we get all caught up in our feathers, talk about the 4th of July and all this, but we don't understand the science of the 4th of July. And it's the day of the Kiefer, which is a cosmic event, and it's way more deeper than what we be thinking. But the powers that be let misnomer black people and people that's religious argue. When I talk about Know Your America, it's a suggested course in Americanism, because I'm an American. And I break down the American Legion and the context and the meaning of the establishment and design of the American flag. When I break down the constellations, when I break down the secret architecture of our nation's capital, when I break down how the Masons who first signed the Declaration of Independence would have been aware of the particular significance of the 4th of July as a cosmic event, the same way so-called Fard Muhammad did. When I talk about John Hancock and Charles Thompson, so I don't mean no disrespect to nobody, just like where and from whom they gained this knowledge. Thompson was also the translator of the Septuagint Bible from the original Greek version into English, which I just broke down, Stolen Legacy. I can get deeper with it. And it was the first translation of the Septuagint ever done into the English language in America. And the Septuagint Bible was the first Bible, AKA they say the Old Testament, ever recorded in 285 BC in Egypt under Ptolemy, Philadelphius. There were no versions of the Bible compiled in book form in any language before this time. And the oldest Hebrew version dates from the findings of the Dead Sea Scrolls, which date back to 150 BC through the 1st century AD. I don't come from no disrespect, and all my muftis know that. And the understandard versions are from the Hebrew Masoretic text from the 9th century AD. That's 900 AD. And the importance of the Septuagint Bible is that the council who recorded the history of Israel were recording the oral traditions they had learned from the true Black Moorish Israelites in Babylonian and in Babylon. And afterwards, the Europeans, the Albian, the Tralodite Jews, under the direction of Ptolemy and other Roman rulers who came later, studied the lost history of the 18th dynasty, that they had been nearly washed away by the biblical and the Quranic Pharaoh Ramses I and his son Seti I during the 19th dynasty of Egypt. Just like what I just broke down, Stolen Legacy, that Greek history is stolen Egyptian history, and the lost history of the 18th dynasty, the Moorish Israel, was used by these Europeans, these Albians, these Tralodites, the so-called Jews, to graft themselves in as the Israel and the major prophets of the Bible. And these prophets were really major figures of the 18th dynasty of Egypt, like Akhenaten, Moses, Solomon, and Uya, Tutmos III, David, which was Abraham. I can go deep and deep. I can start pulling out a stiff from the records of the 7th year of the rule of Amenhotep II, which was Saul, and his military commander under Tutmos III. Uya, Abraham, David in Memphis showed that there were 3,600 Apiri, strangers, foreigners, of the captured people, David, Tutmos III, Abraham, Uzzah, and Solomon, Akhenaten, are recorded in the Bible as dealing with these same strangers and keeping a census record of them. It's all in the text. So I'm not here to argue with my brothers and sisters. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to say we should be walking out the house just like all European Jews, holding hands under guidance, not dealing with characters, not dealing with a person wearing some garments or saying some good one time. That ain't my mission. That's not my mission. And if I have something that can educate you, I don't want to just hold on to it. I'll put it in your hand for pennies on the dollar. For you can have it, for you can research it, so we can come back and have dialogue. Every book that I'm showing y'all, I converted to PDFs, and you can download on your tablet, or my company will print it, bind it for you at bindedbooks.com. All these books I converted at my other company at mypdfbooks.com. That's books with the Z. So I'm not here to argue with my brothers and sisters. That is not my mission. I love every one of my brothers and sisters, and I love God's creation. I love all God's creation. I love all Allah's creation. I'm not here to argue with my brothers and sisters. I'm not here to have a pissing contest. I'm just here to share the wisdom that I was able to be introduced to, that I was able to be initiated under the wisdom. And I want to share this wisdom before I die. And I want to share my library before I die. And if the European look at me as Melchizedek and a scholar and a prophet and an angel, all I say is, why don't my people accept me as that? That's all. And if you're not rocking with what I'm saying, none of my people have to be here. We don't have to disrespect each other in the public. You can email me and call me everything but a child of God, but we shouldn't disrespect each other on social media platforms where the world can see us. When a task force, when the police that's on the internet that's looking at all of our pages can say, yep, these Negroes is just as crazy as they were before the internet came out. So that's all I have with my brothers and sisters. I showed you that Greek history is stolen legacy. I showed you that. And I don't have no disrespect to my brothers that join Greek fraternities, but you are not a Greek God. You are not Negro, black, and colored, and African American. You are a people, and you made in the image of the Creator, and the Creator did not make a slave. Slaves were made here by who? A certain people. You are not Negro, black, and colored, or African American, which all are misnomers. So with that being said, man, I love y'all, man, and I give y'all honor. Thank y'all for taking time out y'all day for listening to me. Thank y'all for coming to Sunday school. Thank y'all for coming to Adapt class. And everybody that come to Sunday school on our Temple and School YouTube page and on our Temple and School Facebook page, which is the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, that gave donations to our school, Cash App, $ KG Bay. All you got to do is hit me up and I'll share everything I have with you. If you give a donation, all you got to do is send me an email to GOODMAN Khary, KHARY @gmail.com. Or when you give a donation, please put your email in that handle and I'll get right back with you. If you don't get the information from me, my muftis and all my ministers, we have a text stream, and then I ask my muftis to give y'all, literature, and I share everything with y'all. I'm trying to build a community, so I love everyone, man. And like I said, gratitude to everyone that listened to little old me. And like I'm saying, we got to resurrect ourselves. This ain't about nobody else. This ain't about no white man misnomer. This ain't about this and that and the other. This not about no religious dogma. It's not about none of that. It's about us as a people, understanding our nationality, understanding our spirituality, who we are as a people, understanding that the Gospels is not no European book or no Negro book, understanding that we are the Gospels and we have forefathers. And once we remove all that anger and once we remove all that religious dogma, we can accept some truth. We can accept some truth. And that's what I'm with. I'm not here to, how can I say, convert no one to any religion, because I have a clear understanding of all religions. I know who I am. And I'm accepted in all religious houses, especially if you look like me. This is our mission. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody. Nobody should be educating our children or our brothers and sisters of history, religion, and scientific study, microeconomics, macroeconomics, agriculture, tax codes, knowing how to buy land, which I know how to do all this under a certain tax code, but me. And I'm here to share all my wisdom with y'all. So with that being said, man, I love y'all. Do anybody got anything they want to share? Or like I said, if anybody want to type something real fast, go ahead. But please subscribe to our Temple and School YouTube channel, which is Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Also on Facebook at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. And also on Instagram at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. If y'all need any books or anything, I have a company. Actually, I have 2 book companies. My first company, I converted books to PDFs so you can download on your tablet or your cell phone. And it's called mypdfbooks.com. mypdfbooks.com. That's books with the Z. And we also have another company called bindedbooks.com. bindedbooks.com, where we print and bind expensive and rare books for you. We have our own company where we sell all our Moorish American regalia and much, much more at moorishhaberdasher.com. We have our own tea company, our own herbal company at Herbs of Mayat, HERBS of Mayat.com. We have our own platform, our own IT, our own web design at ALOdesignpros.com. We have our own studio where we make music, where my noble Brian Hicks Bay, B&B Music. You can download his new album. It's called Transportation of Raw Materials. Please check it out. You will love that wisdom. He spits so much wisdom. It's called Transportation of Raw Materials, and it's streaming on all platforms. And we have our own studio, and we continue to build, and we have our own Temple and School. And our website to our Temple and School is bbtsciencetemple.com. So once again, y'all, gratitude for y'all listening to me and taking time out y'all day. And anything that you need, I'm your brother. I'm your friend. Like I said, I'm like Saint Germain. If I can get our women and the babies to be a part of this movement, if I can get the listening ear to our empresses, I can straighten up our crown. I can straighten up our noble's crown. This ain't no gang banging, no separate group. We are a people. And I need the women. And I'm casting out my net to all my ladies, my cousins that's on here, my cousin Isis. I got one of my homegirls, Mona, on here. She got babies. I got one of my other empresses that was on my page. I got my mom on here. I need the ladies. It's about y'all. And it's about the babies. The men will come once we put ourselves to a certain level to where we're not dealing with jack legs no more, and where a lot of women just don't want easy penis. Excuse my candor, I'm saying that. And where we straighten our crown and where we take our rights back and give the European, the Albion, the Trailer-dyke, no disrespect, give them their stuff back, and we take our rights and we stand up in stature and we love each other and we support a real mission. We can own land. We can own our own communities. Everybody that left our city of Flint, Michigan, everybody that's on my Facebook page, y'all from Flint. Mona, you from Flint. I'm from Flint. We moved away. Why? Because no opportunities. But now it's time for us to be family. And I can show us how to own blocks, how to own our own buildings. All our women that got ideas, that got their own cleaning companies, that braid hair. We have to create businesses and we have to do business with each other. And we become multi-millionaires. How? Off the backs of our people. We don't have to assimilate with nobody else. We don't need nobody else's funds. If Misnomer Black Wall Street done this and all these places before them done this, why we can't do it today? And we say we winning and we got jobs and we give our money willingly to Uncle Sam and we don't know tax codes. And we can support our organization with the money that we giving to Uncle Sam and get a tax exempt receipt. We can buy our community and make it a religious organization. We can have the brothers that know how to work with their hands, refurbish our community, and it be a private religious community. The Great Migration is us going back to our community, not leaving, going to the continent of Africa, but taking a area and us from a certain area going back to our community, showing these babies that they are Negro, Black, and colored, showing our young men that we brothers, they need to see us for the kids can stop killing each other. for our women to stop depending on Uncle Sam, and they need to depend on us. They need to see us in the neighborhoods. When they open the window, they see us out there with our fezzes and our turbans on, and they walking the kids to school. We walking the kids to school. We got the lunch program. We feeding them in the morning, and after school, they come into our temple when the parents get off work. It's on me. Put it on me. That's what this is about with me, man. I know how to build our community. I have a blueprint. I have Powernomics. And it takes us being a people and our religious community, our private community, we can do that. All the people out of sound of my voice. And if you from your community that you lived in and you went to high school with, that's called an urban community. And it's called the Hardest Hit Fund. We are the ones that need to go back in our community and replenish it. So with that being said, man, I love y'all. And once again, thank y'all for taking time out y'all day for listening to me. Please, if y'all want all my books, I gathered and compiled and divinely prepared a plethora of books. This is one of my last books, which is the Divine Pattern of the Messiah Tabernacle. I've gathered and compiled almost 20 books. I got 5 more books getting ready to come out, and I lecture them on the college campus every Wednesday. So if you want to know how I believe, if you want to know history, law, and civics, my last book I'm getting ready to print is going to be about trust and allodial deeds, and to show us how to do things, how not to lose your property. Because if you have a mortgage and everything, that means you can lose your property with back taxes. And I'm gonna show you how to take things out of public and put it in private. I'm gonna show you that you should never get a will. A will is litigation. I'm gonna show you how to do certain trusts, and certain trusts is where you eliminate litigation. I'm gonna show you how to put things in private and operate in the private, which we all have the right to do, which all Europeans do. That's why they don't lose anything. So with that being said, man, I love y'all. Peace, light, and illumination.